I think I speak for just about everyone when I say it's becoming a little bit exhausting to watch Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills lose playoff games in heartbreaking fashion. It's starting to feel a little bit like Peyton Manning's Colts in the early 2000s, but they got their ring eventually, and so can we. So let's see if we can take the Bills past Super Bowl contender status and turn them into Super Bowl champions. Let's start by assessing the roster. It begins and ends with Josh Allen, transcendent talent, special player, more than capable of elevating the guys around him, and the guys around him aren't awful on paper. Stephon Diggs is the one proven elite talent, but you've got a lot of young potential to be excited for. Khalil Shakir has shown flashes, makes me feel a lot better about the fact that we won't be able to afford Gabe Davis for much longer. O'Cyrus Torrence and Spencer Brown are both 25 and under with room to grow. Dalton Kincaid is a stud, and we've got James Cook. Moving on to the defense, I would feel so much better about this unit if it wasn't for the Von Miller contract. The guy will be 35 years old by the time the next season starts, and he's got 5 years left on his deal. What were the Bills thinking with this one? His cap hit is going to get up to $32 million by the end of it, and I know we don't have to keep him for that long. I'm sure at some point we'll be able to get rid of him, but cutting or trading him this offseason, or probably even the next one, just simply isn't going to work. It's not all bad though, he can still contribute, and we've got some exciting talent with guys like Tre'Davious White, Greg Rousseau, Ed Oliver, and Matt Milano. We're just going to have to draft really well considering we're not going to have a lot of cap space to work with. Speaking of cap space to work with, let's take a look at our pending free agents. Gabe Davis is the big name here, and I can't wait to see which of the joke franchises in real life decide to throw him the bag this offseason. Probably the Panthers, but let me know who you think goes after him. Needless to say, he won't be back with us. Outside of him, you've got Micah Hyde, who will be 33 but still has a high rating and who won't necessarily be easy to replace. After that, we're not really losing anyone substantial, but we will need to remember to pick up Greg Rousseau's fifth-year option. The 49ers win the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy takes home Super Bowl MVP honors. I'm giving away a $25 gift card. Give me your Super Bowl matchup and final score prediction for a chance to win. Now on to the offseason. Gabe Davis is gone. This is what our offense is looking like. Dalton Kincaid is going to be the starter moving forward at tight end. That makes Dawson Knox expendable. So he's going to Washington. In return, we get Jahan Dotson and a 7th round pick. Not a bad return at all. Certainly not Moving on to the defensive side of the ball, we could definitely use a new DT2. We need a new free safety. We could use some help at linebacker. We need some help at edge. Really, we could use some help across the board. Although I'm not sure where Von Miller is. Let me fix that. Not that we can really afford anyone from this list, but let me show you guys the top available free agents. Antoine Winfield Jr. would be an absolute dream addition, although I don't know how much of a difference free safety makes when you sim the games. Michael Pittman is a stud, and you've got some solid options after that, although we're really just here to look more than anything given our cap situation. Taron Johnson only has a year left on his deal, and we've got some solid depth there, so I'm going to trade him to the Vikings for Cameron Bynum and some draft picks. That gets us a new starting free safety who's just 26 years old, and a nice little haul of draft picks as well. I certainly don't hate the value there. That gives us a little bit of cap flexibility, and I think our best bet is to bring in some vets on cheap one-year deals. We don't have enough wiggle room for guys like Winfield or Pittman, but Bobby Wagner and Shaq Barrett make sense as veteran additions, and bringing back Daquan Jones should help to temporarily fill that hole we've got at DT. Von Miller retired, by the way, just in case you're wondering why we're bringing in another old edge player. So let's take a quick look at the defense before these additions, and here is how that defense looks after these additions. None of these guys are world beaters by any means, but they ensure that we don't have any glaring weaknesses, and for a team that's in win now mode, I certainly feel we could have done a lot worse in free agency. But let me know how you would have done things differently, if at all. Always curious to hear what you guys think of the moves that I decide to make in these rebuilds. And just like that, it's draft day. These are always interesting in Sim. I wish the CPU were smart enough to just trade with each other, but let's see how these first few picks go. Chicago's at 1. They go Marvin Harrison Jr., which I'm fine with from a realism standpoint. Cardinals at 2 will go Fashanu. Realistically, I think they would trade back here so someone can come up and get Caleb Williams, but I understand the reasoning here. No surprise whatsoever to see Caleb Williams go to the Patriots at 3. The Commanders shockingly do not go Drake May. They take Jared Verse. So let's see where May ends up, and then we'll get to our pick. Chargers surprisingly don't go J.D. McCoy. Oops, I meant J.J. McCarthy. Please tell me you got that reference. And finally, Drake May goes to the Titans, whose fans can shut up about Will Levis being better than Anthony Richardson. Yes, I'm a biased Colts fan. Get over it. And now we're on the clock. A lot of talent available here. These are always a bit tough because no way is Rome Odunze here in real life unless he pulls a Laramie Tunsil or something on draft day. So I'm going to get a little creative here. Deion Dawkins is getting up there in age. He only has 1 year left on his contract. Still thinking about our future from a salary cap perspective. We're going to get much cheaper at the position by trading him and a couple fourths to the Titans. We get the 38th overall pick. Now with our 28th overall pick, we'll select our left tackle of the future, Patrick Paul out of Houston, 6'7", 315 pounds, a fraction of the price we'd pay for Deion Dawkins. The Titans get a much-needed veteran presence on their line, a win-win all around. Back on the clock at pick 38. You guys are going to hate me for this, but I'm not picking Rome Odunze. I like our core of Diggs, Dotson, and Shakir. Only way I see this working is if I trade away Diggs. I don't really feel like doing that. So we're taking Howard Cross III out of Notre Dame. Being able to generate interior pressure is huge come playoff time. Hopefully he can help us accomplish that alongside Ed Oliver and start for us sooner rather than later. We've got another second round pick. I'm not really loving the talent left on the board. I'm going to trade that pick to the Raiders for their second in next year's draft in the hopes that they continue to be the Raiders and end up giving us a pick in the top 40 or so. Although in real life with Antonio Pierce, I don't know if I see that happening. I really like the fact that they chose to keep him, but they are still the Raiders. Our next pick won't come until the 5th, so we'll go Luke Lachey here, help fill out that tight end room a little bit now with Dawson Knox gone. With our second 5th round pick, we go Brian Addison. Little depth at safety, some insurance in case we can't work things out long term with Cameron Bynum. Next up, we'll go Sebastian Castro. Really just like the name. We'll make a trade. We'll sim the rest of the way. No one good ever gets drafted in the 6th round or later anyways, right? Okay, draft recap time. Patrick Paul is a 70. I can work with that. Maybe we can get him up to a 72 or a 73 by the time the regular season comes around through training. Howard Cross is a 73. Don't hate that. Probably going to start him right away, get him some reps. Hopefully we can get him developed as well sooner than later. The rest were all 5th round picks or later, so how much can you really hope for? Definitely not mad about Sebastian Castro coming in with a 72. Could be a diamond in the rough there. Even Brian Addison could turn into something if we focus on his development a little bit. All in all, I'd grade this draft a B minus. What do you guys think? Let me know. Give me your draft grades. I definitely would be curious to hear that. Now, I'm not going to bore you guys by showing you every single training camp drill, but we did earn some solid experience points, and getting those gold medals is a huge step in helping some of our younger guys level up before the season starts. We also get a solid boost for Jahan Dotson, courtesy of Stephon Diggs deciding to mentor him. Greg Rousseau is having an excellent training camp, so he gets a nice boost. So all in all, we managed to improve a fair amount throughout the preseason. Definitely encouraged heading into week 1. It'll be a really good test for this team, going up against Trevor Lawrence and a Jaguars team that might have missed the playoffs in 2023, but certainly aren't pushovers by any means. Although a 35-10 blowout win is a very encouraging sign and an excellent statement of how locked in and motivated this Bills team is this season. Josh Allen wins AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and we are on to the Rams, who we beat 31-28, getting us off to a 2-0 start. Allen is again your Offensive Player of the Week, and now we get to see what Caleb Williams is all about as we take on the Patriots in Week 3. We take care of business. We are 3-0. Next up are the lowly 0-3 Cardinals. We handle them with ease, but proceed to get handled by the Colts, who hand us our first L of the season. Rodgers and the Jets are 4-1, but not anymore, as we take care of business 35-14. Allen picks up his third Player of the Week award. He's got to be MVP favorite at this point. Big test here against the 49ers, though, perhaps the most complete roster in the NFL. We come out on top 24-17. The Titans are surprisingly 5-1, but we squeak out the narrow victory 31-28. Now 7-1 at this point, we are firmly in control of the AFC East. We're probably going to sim to the playoffs. I will check in if anything crazy or unusual happens. Let's see how things go as the season progresses. And we went on a little bit of a skid, lost 2 in a row, and the Patriots have come out of nowhere to tie us up record-wise with 4 weeks left to go. This is going to be a tough stretch, starting with Mahomes and the Chiefs, who we somehow hold to 10 points. Next up are the Lions, who are struggling at 6-8, but we make a statement with a 41-0 shutout win. Keeping an eye on the records and the schedule, these next 2 weeks will be crucial. The Ravens are 10-5, and the defending AFC champs do get the better of us. I don't know how tiebreakers would work since we beat them in Week 3, so we're just going to treat this Week 8 team game against the Pats as a must-win, and we do win, earning ourselves the highly coveted 1 seed and a first-round bye. That is huge. Before the playoffs begin, let's take a look at some of our year-end stats. Josh Allen has a monster season. I would have to imagine he's your MVP. Defense second in the league, absolutely incredible. 45 touchdowns to 5 interceptions is nasty. I don't love 3.8 yards per carry, but James Cook does top 1,000 yards and hits 10 scores. Can't complain too much there. 3 guys hit double-digit touchdowns. Jahan Dotson ends up being a fine replacement for Gabe Davis. Patrick Paul lets up 7 sacks as a rookie, which I don't think is awful. Let me know if I'm wrong. Definitely room for improvement there. I think he'll continue to get better. Greg Rousseau has a monster season, 15 sacks, 4 for the rookie Howard Cross. Not bad at all, and more than Ed Oliver. Doesn't feel like we got a ton of interceptions, but happy to see my guy Castro get one. Let's get on to the playoffs. Interesting bracket here. Not going to focus too much on the repeat teams from 2023, but on the AFC side, you've got Joe Burrow's Bengals bouncing back and earning a spot. Your 2 surprise teams over here are the Titans and the Patriots, so Caleb Williams and Drake May are both the real deal apparently. Over in the NFC, it looks like Bryce Young has figured things out. The Commanders find their way in. The Vikings seem to benefit from having a healthy Kirk Cousins for a full season. Let's see who we get in the divisional round. It will be Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Let's quickly look at some of the more interesting wildcard matchups as they narrowly beat Mahomes and the Chiefs, as he will lose his first ever wildcard round game. We don't have to worry about him this year. Caleb Williams beats Drake May in a shootout, and all 3 games in the NFC were decided by a score or less. Quality weekend all around. NFL, take notes. The Bengals come in with an 11-6 record coming off that victory against Mahomes and the Chiefs. We want to try and slow down Burrow and Chase as much as possible. We're going to move quickly through the first 3 quarters here for each game. Hopefully we get more than one. We'll do a little play-by-play for the 4th. Let's get into it and see how things go. Starting things off, first quarter, the Bengals are going to get on the board first. They'll get on the board again. 14-0 lead after 1. Heading into the second, we'll get a field goal. Still 14-3. We get a touchdown. It's 14-10, 14-13. We get a field goal. It is a 1-point game at halftime after the 14-0 lead. We will take the lead 21-14, 24-14. It's a 10-point lead. Things are looking good for us. 24 straight points for the Bills. Now let's check out the 4th quarter. Bengals do have the ball. Burrow will throw the ball away. 3rd and 1, hits Kendrick Bourne for 8 yards. Hits Jamar Chase for 23. They are at the 12. 1st and 10, knocked away by Christian Benford. 2nd and 10, Joe Mixon will run it in for a 12-yard score. It is again a 3-point game. 24-21. Allen will hit Diggs for 12, 1st and 10. Hits Shakir for 5, 4:56 left, if I'm reading the screen correctly. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It is 2nd and 10. James Cook will gain 3, 3rd and 7. Diggs will gain 9. It's a 1st down. Cook will gain 9, 2nd and 1. We are in field goal range. Allen will gain 9. We're at the 12. Shakir will gain 11, we're at the 1, and James Cook will punch it in. It is again a 10-point game, 2:48 left to play. It's looking really good for us. Still time left though. Bengals have all 3 timeouts. Burrow will hit Harrison Bryant, I believe that was. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Jamar Chase for 12. Kendrick Bourne for 21. They're at the 31. Chase for 12. 2:02 left to play. They scored. They didn't show us who scored. 31-28 with 1:59 left to play. McPherson kicks off. Cook will gain 2. 2nd and 8. Allen will gain 8 is 1st and 10. Cook will gain 3. Bengals are out of timeout. 2nd and 7. Hines will lose 3, 3rd and 10. And here's what we're going to do. The CPU never knows how to manage the clock in this scenario. This isn't cheating. This is just me compensating for horrible AI. Here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to get the 1st down even if I can. We're going to run the clock down exactly as a team would in real life. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hand off the ball to Cook. Once the clock runs down here, there we go, hand it off. Okay. Maybe could have fought our way for the 1st down, but not going to push our luck. Now we should be able to about run the clock out. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to run the clock down, let the play clock get down to 1. We're going to call a timeout here, and we'll punt with, I believe this is 6 seconds left. The screen is small, I can't quite tell. Forgive me. But again, guys, this isn't cheating by any means. What would happen if I let it sim is we would end up punting the ball with like a minute left, however much was left before I ran those 2 plays, which is ridiculous. No team in real life would do that, and we win, and we are on to the conference championship game. 31-28 is your final score. Does Zach Taylor actually look like that in real life? 31-28, though, we're moving on. It looks cold there, but we get another home playoff game. And we'll get a chance for revenge in the conference championship game. Lamar and the Ravens handed us the L earlier in the season. Almost cost us the 1 seed. Let's see if we can cost them a trip to the Super Bowl and get the job done. And here we go. Perhaps the biggest game of Josh Allen's career to this point. In fact, I would say it's definitely the biggest game of his career. Can he finally get it done and finally get the Bills to the Super Bowl? Let's find out. First quarter, who comes out on top first? It is going to be scoreless after 1. Probably no surprise. 2 teams with very high-quality defenses. It's going to be a battle. We do get on the board first. 7-0. Can the Ravens respond before halftime? No. We will take a 17-0 lead into the half. Looks like maybe there was a turnover or something. It was 14-0 and then quickly turned into 17. We will make it 24-0. It's 24-8. The Ravens will score and go for 2. Now entering the 4th quarter, things are looking pretty good for us. We will get assisted by the penalty. We have the ball at the 36, 2nd and 10. I'd like to say we're in field goal range, although given recent events, I probably shouldn't say that. 4th and 9, Tyler Bass gets redemption. It's 27-8. This game's looking like it's well in hand. It would take a miracle. I'm not going to say it's completely over yet. I do have a lot of respect for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense, but things are looking good. Shaq Barrett will get the clutch sack. Duvernay will gain 9. It's 4th and 9. This is very well the ball game. Okay, so we're just going to go fast from this point on. 27-15, 30-15. It is over. We are moving on. Josh Allen has led the Bills to their first Super Bowl appearance since the 1990s. At long last, we have done it. And to my pleasant surprise, it will not be the Dallas Cowboys we're going up against. Looks like the Niners squeaked out the 21-16 win. I believe they will be trying to go back-to-back, yes, because they beat the Ravens last year. We were very close to a Super Bowl rematch. The Niners have been on quite a little run. I'm looking to see when their last Super Bowl appearance was before then. So this will be, their 3rd Super Bowl appearance in the last 5 or 6 years? Not bad. Going for their 2nd straight win. Let's see if we can stop them. And oh, the irony of this game being played at AT&T Stadium. You know how they're always zooming in on celebrities throughout the game? Please show me Jerry Jones at this game. That would be so funny. This might be the thing to put him over the edge, honestly. Same deal, we're going to do a play-by-play starting in the fourth. Let's see who can come out on top early. It's the Niners, probably Christian McCaffrey if I had to guess. The man's a touchdown machine. Kept me from a couple fantasy championships this season. Thanks, Travis Kelce. It's 14-7. Tied up at 14. This is a good game, man. Tied up at 14 at the half. That's amazing. Let's see who can pull away. We get a safety, it looks like. Then a field goal. It's 19-14. Things are looking good heading into the fourth, but still one-score game. Plenty of time left. We've got the ball, 3rd and inches. At the 41, we'll throw it away. Are we going to go for it here? I certainly would. No. We'll punt, because that's what the CPU does. They punt. Niners at the 10. Kittle will gain 18. 1st and 10. McCaffrey gains 2. 5:30 or so left to play. Sacked by Greg Rousseau. Okay, 3rd and 16. Purdy throws it away. They'll have to punt here. They do. Still plenty of time. No sense in going for it. Hines will get us out to the 36 with a decent return. Chase Young will get a sack. 2nd and 15. Nick Bosa will get a sack. 3rd and 20. Oh my goodness. Shakir gains 15. We're probably going to have to punt here. Makes a lot of sense. Down to the 1 though. We got a safety earlier. Can we make it 2? No, of course not. Thanks, Christian McCaffrey. He gains 9. 2nd and 1. Purdy throws it away. It's 3rd and 1. 4-3 left to play. Samuel will gain 7. They're still alive. Moving the ball. Purdy gains 5. 2nd and 5. Dropped by Ayuk. 3rd and 5. That's a rare sight for him. Xavier Legette, gains 11, then gains 14. They're at the 47. 3:21 left. Kittle gains 12. They're at the 41. 1st and 10. Elijah Mitchell gains 11. They're at the 30. Sacked by Matt Milano. 2:48 left to play. 2nd and 19. Hits Deebo Samuel for 5. 3rd and 14. Hits Ayuk for 12. It is 4th and 2. This is a massive play. Kittle gains 6. They get it. 2:20 left. Purdy gains 3. They're at the 13. 2:11 left in the ball game. Mitchell gains 4. Takes us down to the 2-minute warning. They'll show us that play again because EA's broken. 3rd and 3. Purdy gains 3. It's 4th and inches. And he is sacked by Shaq Barrett. Wow. Oh my goodness. One of our low-key off-season additions makes one of the most clutch plays in Super Bowl history, a goal line stand. Who would have thought? Allen's going to start kneeling. We're going to fix this for him because what's going to happen is he's going to kneel it. The CPU is going to take 5 seconds off the clock. We're going to end up punting it back to them when they have no timeouts left. So we're going to fix that. We are going to take the knee, and Josh Allen is a Super Bowl champion. He has led the Bills to the promised land at long last. What a glorious feeling for Buffalo, and I am just kind of in disbelief that we were able to do this in year 1. I believe I said in the beginning, when you've got Josh Allen, you've always got a chance. He elevates the guys around him. He just knows how to get it done. And 19-14, a very impressive playoff run. I kind of wish we could have gotten Mahomes and the Chiefs to get that monkey off our back. But still, taking down Joe Burrow, who did knock us out a couple seasons ago, then getting to take down the defending AFC champs Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. If you can't face off with Mahomes, those are kind of the 2 next best guys. And next best kind of feels like an insult. They're both at a very high level. And then you get the most complete team in the NFC, the 49ers. This was not an easy run by any means for the Buffalo Bills. 2 out of the 3 games decided by 1 score, came down to the wire. Where is Stephon Diggs? Honestly, how funny would it be? He's not up there. Stephon Diggs is not up there. How funny would it be for him to be watching the confetti fall from afar, just as he did in Kansas City? I don't know. I think that's funny. But we're Super Bowl champs. So let's take a quick look at our game end stats. Josh Allen, a very clean game, likely your Super Bowl MVP, I would have to imagine. I wish it would show us who got tackled for a loss for a safety. Was it a sack? Did McCaffrey get caught slipping for once? What was it? I don't know. Either way, though, thank you guys so much for watching, taking the time here to sit with me as we fix the Buffalo Bills in video game world. I appreciate every single one of you. If you are still here, comment the rock emoji. Comment it twice so I know you're a real one. Because these videos are something I really do enjoy making, but at the same time, I know I've not been on here in forever. If you look at my channel, I don't think I've uploaded a full-length video in at least 6 months. It has been quite some time. No interceptions in the Super Bowl. Both quarterbacks played a clean game. Eric Armstead did force a fumble at some point, so good for him, I guess. Greg Rousseau is the one who came up with the safety. I just don't think it's going to show us who that was on. But yes, thank you guys so much. I truly do appreciate every single one of you. Your interactions, getting to talk with you guys, it is a big part of why I do this. I appreciate you. And here are your year-end awards. Josh Allen completes the very tough task that Mahomes seemed to break the curse of winning MVP and Super Bowl MVP. I don't think Stephon Diggs was a team captain. I'm wondering if that's why he wasn't on the podium. So let me know if I should do a part 2 so we can see Stephon Diggs on the podium next season. Should we try to run it back? Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video, whether that be this or something else. We'll see.